and Mr. Rakesh Swami. Rakesh is currently the Vice President, Government Relations at Honeywell, India. And Honeywell is another, I think, the company which has seen both Spanish flu and both these pandemics. He's a versatile C-level executive having a rich experience of over 20 years. He has been successful in achieving business growth objectives with experience in corporate social responsibility, sustainability development, business strategy, and general administration. He is an alumnus of Symbiosis Institute of Business Management. So our question to you, Rakesh ji, is what is your learning from this whole first wave as well as second wave, and what do you think? How can organizations become more resilient and survive and even grow in the future based on the learnings that we had?
Yeah, sure. So Gauravji, first of all, thank you very much for the introduction. And I'm not the star here. My panelists here, the co-panelists here are very, very senior, esteemed panelists, and I think I'm thrilled to understand, to hear their views, their experience, expertise which they have spoken. I think it is marvelous, and I think a lot of people can speak about strategies and theories, but I think listening to this kind of practical experience will always be very, very enriching for me and all the colleagues, those who are connected to this panel discussion today. So first of all, a very good evening and namaskar to all of you, my esteemed panelists, and also the colleagues, those who have joined as an audience to this particular panel, and spending their precious time in understanding our viewpoints. And I'm sure I was understanding the questions and answer coming to the chat box are really very interesting, and they're thought-provoking. And I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting exercise. I'll try to do justice with your question and with the expectation. So I was thinking and talking to some of my colleagues, and somebody asked me, what is this resilience? Everybody is talking about resilience, building resilient organization. So I think, looking at and Gaurav, you mentioned a word called like VUCA world. So this pandemic has taken us rightly into the, maybe all ingredients of VUCA world are present in the COVID pandemic, whether it's volatility, uncertainty, complexity, or ambiguity. And the resilience is like, we feel that whether we can withstand the current situation and how we can come out of this situation. And same thing is happening to the organizations. So how do we make resilient organization, future ready organization? And if you look at my back, so Honeywell, we speak always, and our tagline is future is what we make it. So I think the resilient organizations are those who are ready for change. They are looking at the maybe simple SWOT. We were taught in our management school, like, do SWOT analysis first. So let's do the SWOT for the COVID as well. What are our strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats in the coming time? If we can do it in the timely manner, I think then we can be better prepared, adapt, collaborate, and we can be a good resilient organization. I would like to share some examples of what we did here at Honeywell. So and Honeywell is a technology company, in fact. So a lot of people, when they talk about Honeywell, they think Honeywell is an electronics company. So Honeywell is a well-known technology company into the aerospace, Honeywell building technologies, performance material technology, safety and productivity solution. And we have a technology arm called Honeywell Technology Solution, which gives technology solution to all the umbrella companies. So we were contacted by the DRDO, and then I would like to give this example, because how you have to be agile and you can adapt to the new situation. And so when we looked at the situation that now we are in a situation when the oxygen is the main requirement in the country. And then DRDO came up with a wonderful idea that how the, all these, fighter planes, they have a technology called PSA. And with that, they produce oxygen, but it's purely done through the lithium-based zeolite, which is very rare and very, the quantity available worldwide is very less. So they kind of created a model on the, for the hospitals, how they can replicate that, and then how we can partner with them. So the big question in front of everybody was, how do we, bring the critical element of zeolite together. So Honeywell UOP is, master in that area, and with their mastery, they brought out various different kinds of zeolite, lithium-based, calcium-based, and sodium-based. And the scientists of Honeywell and the DRDO, we did brainstorming together for about 25 days at constant basis. So how we can reach to a situation which particular zeolite is suited to the oxygen quality, which Mukesh and team would look, and which was all the hospital would want, and the reliability. So finally, after a lot of brainstorming, we all reached to a situation that the sodium-based zeolite, and Gaurav, I have no hesitation, sodium-based zeolite is the cheapest zeolite, and lithium-based zeolite is the costliest zeolite. So finally, the frugal solution worked for us, and now this sodium-based zeolite is being used in all these. I think they are setting up 1,500 PSA plants with the help of Prime Minister Relief Fund in different parts of the country. So that's an example of how we can quickly adapt to a new situation and then work with our partnership with the government and the key strategic stakeholders. The second example which I would like to give in this resilient world, and how we can be more resilient to adapt to the new situation. So during the normal course of time, we will do our CSR work, normally going to a school and doing some sort of, maybe hygiene, sanitation work, or do a, construction of building, construction of toilet, roads, so something of that sort. So I think all of us, not only Honeywell, I'm sure a lot of other organizations, all of us, we came together and we adapted, during the first wave. The focus is more on the migrant workers. They were moving on the roads. So how do we feed that population, keep them disciplined, give them the, PPEs, and then also, ensure that, they reach their destination. So I think the focus remained on there, and also the ventilator piece in terms of when we were dealing with that. But during the second wave, and we thought we are ready, and we were not actually. So we were caught sleeping in terms of maybe the requirement came little different. So it was the oxygen requirement. So then we started all these innovative ways, and I spoke about our partnership with DRDO, which is yet to get in action. And I'm sure before the third wave is here, in whatever slightest way or in the severest manner, I'm sure, with all our efforts, all these, these plants, ESA plants should be in action. They should be, deployed. So coming back to the strategies with respect to how we changed focus on the CSR approach as well. The second approach, we built a lot of, these COVID care centers and also the ICU centers, and more focus was on the deployment of the oxygen concentrator. And we put our, the supply chain team, the procurement team, wherever on the world map you can find out the oxygen concentrator. And Honeywell allocated around $3 million USD for this particular task. So let's get going and analyze the requirement with the hospitals and with the government bodies and stuff like that. So I think that partnership worked very well, and this was the change in the focus. Now looking at the third wave, and to be more agile and to be more flexible, I think our focus has to be more on because somewhere it was called that focus has to be on the child care, pediatric care, and what kind of wards. So we are setting up those wards as well now, but I think we'll see how it goes. But the most importantly, the focus for the organization to be more, agile, how to, look at the technologies which are data driven, which helps us in correct decision making. How do we, use the machine learning tools? How do we focus on the, AI and also the predictive models? So Honeywell is constantly working on these particular areas, and we are collaborating effectively with various people. So some of the example maybe which could be relevant for this forum is, when we are looking at the current situation. So we like when first wave struck us, we were not aware what to do. But when we were, towards the end of first wave, we all started talking about the COVID vaccine. And how do we distribute the vaccine to the actual target, the people who are supposed to be vaccinated. So the focus came on like develop the track and trace, solution. How do we monitor the temperature? How do we have a counterfeit solution? And how do we monitor these command and control centers? So we developed a technology for Honeywell, vaccine distribution. Then moving further, we thought, how do we, make our planes operational? And maybe it will be interesting for you, Mukesh, to know that we have developed the UV-based disinfectant solution now. In a hospital environment, the UV-based disinfectant is different. And then for aircrafts, it's different. And we have customized it for the homes and also for the, public transport like buses and all that. And then we are now working on the, like we spoke about black fungus and white fungus. So how do we, we have developed a machine called Air Detective. It will check the quality of the air and also the presence of black or white fungus in the environment. So that is something which is going on, and I'm sure we will soon come out with that solution, and that will help the humanity at large. And also, if we shift the gear everywhere, so you must have heard a lot about the green building system. Honeywell is known for that globally. So now in the COVID pandemic, we started to focus on the healthy building. And when we say healthy building, the focus is more on the air quality monitoring. And you must have heard about the Rebellion cameras and also the, the crowd monitoring. So if in a building, you find some people without masks, so automatically there is a technology which detects it. And some of the government offices, we are fitting all those technologies, and some of our offices are also getting equipped with this. So the intent is that we have to look at future beyond pandemic now, because COVID wave 1 is gone, second is gone, and third will also go away. I think with COVID appropriate behavior and the kind of precautions we are maintaining, it will definitely will overcome this. But what are some of the key takeaways, as you mentioned? How do we overcome this? So I think we have to quickly respond to the situation, adapt, and as I gave some examples of how we shifted the gear in terms of technology development as a technology company.
I think, Rakesh, we got the gist, because we are now just about to end the program also.
Okay.
But we got the gist. I think the way Honeywell has partnered with the government in this crisis time, I think is really appreciable. And the kind of solutions that you are trying to build for this crisis, I think they will really be appreciated by all the stakeholders. So we